Fire her. Now? That's the first thing Alexander Reed said when she walked into his office. His voice cut through the air like a blade, cold, sharp, unforgiving. The woman standing in front of him froze. She clutched her old leather handbag, smiled nervously, and said softly, I think there's been a misunderstanding, sir. I was told you needed a piano teacher for your daughter. He leaned back in his chair, eyes narrowed. No, I needed the best piano teacher. Not whoever the hell you are. That's how it started. A mistake. A mix-up. A single mother named Emma Carter standing in front of one of the richest, most ruthless CEOs in the city, completely unprepared for how that one mistake would change both of their lives forever. Alexander Reed wasn't just any CEO. He was the kind of man people whispered about in boardrooms. He built a billion-dollar empire before he turned 40. To the world, he was brilliance in a suit. But behind closed doors, he was a ghost of the man he used to be. Ever since his wife died 3 years ago, his life had turned to a series of meetings, mergers, and sleepless nights. His heart was a machine now, and the only thing that kept him human was his little girl, Lily. But Lily had stopped smiling, stopped laughing, even stopped talking much. She used to love the piano, but now she wouldn't even touch it. Every melody reminded her of her mother. So Alex did what he always did. He tried to fix the problem with money. Find me the best piano teacher in New York, he told his assistant. I don't care what it costs, but fate doesn't care about power or money. Fate, it seems, had other plans. That's how Emma walked into his world by accident. A single mom with a kind smile, a gentle voice, and a resume that somehow ended up on his desk by mistake. She wasn't supposed to be there. But destiny doesn't ask permission. When she met Lily for the first time, the little girl didn't even look up. She sat there, small and silent, staring at the piano keys like they were ghosts. Emma sat beside her and, without saying a word, began to play. It wasn't a grand classical performance. It was something simple, soft, almost like a lullaby. After a few notes, she whispered, My son loves this song. He says it sounds like sunshine. Lily looked up, just slightly. For the first time in months, she met someone's eyes. And when the melody ended, she smiled. Just a tiny, fragile smile, but to Alexander, who was standing in the doorway watching, it felt like sunlight breaking through years of storm clouds. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. That night, he found himself replaying that tune in his head while sitting alone in his penthouse office. Over the next few weeks, something began to change in that house. Laughter started echoing in the music room again. Lily would hum while brushing her hair. She'd run to the door when Emma arrived. And Alexander? Well, he started coming home earlier, just to watch. He told himself it was because he wanted to make sure his daughter was improving. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was drawn to Emma, the way she smiled through exhaustion, the way her eyes softened whenever she talked to Lily, the way she seemed to bring light wherever she went, even when her own life was full of shadows. He found out she had a son 8 years old, named Noah, a sweet kid, but sick. And Emma was working 3 jobs to pay his hospital bills. Yet she never once complained. One evening, Alex walked into the living room and found Lily and Emma laughing together. Emma was showing her how to play a duet, their hands moving in sync across the piano. He just stood there, watching, feeling something he hadn't felt in years, peace. But peace never lasts long in Alexander's world. His business partner, James, stormed into his office one morning, slamming a file on his desk. You're losing focus, Alex. You missed the Tokyo call. You postponed the investors' dinner. All because of that woman. She's my daughter's teacher, Alex said calmly. Teacher. Or distraction. Jane sneered. You're risking a $1 billion deal because of some single mom from nowhere. Alex's jaw tightened. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he stood up and said, if being human means losing that deal, then maybe it's worth it. The argument was explosive. And when the dust settled, Alex realized what he had to do. He drove straight to Emma's apartment, but when he got there, she was gone. The landlord told him she quit teaching. Something about her son's health getting worse. Alex drove to every hospital in the city until he found her, sitting by her son's bed, head down, exhausted, but still humming that same soft tune. "Emma," he said quietly. She looked up, surprised. "Mr. Reed Alexander," he interrupted. "You helped my daughter smile again. You helped me feel again. Let me help you." Her eyes filled with tears. "You don't owe me anything." He shook his head. "You're wrong. I owe you everything." He covered her son's medical bills that night. No questions asked. No pity. Just quiet gratitude. And when Noah got better, he and Lily played their first piano duet together. Months later, that same man who once said, "Fire her," was sitting front row at a school recital, tears in his eyes, as the two children played that Sunshine song. And beside him sat Emma, smiling, her hand brushing his. Sometimes, the biggest miracles come disguised as mistakes. He hired the wrong teacher, but she turned out to be the right one for his daughter and for his heart.